Welcome back, guys, to JavaSpace. So in this video we are going to talk about ApplicationContext. So remember that one of the things we mentioned is that extensions, they catch a context, but there are situations where we do not want to catch a context. So why do they catch a context? They catch a context so that all your test methods in the test class do not have to create a new application context for each single one of them. You want to create one application context that will be used for all your test methods in the class. So to avoid having each application context for each test method, you then catch that application context. But if you do not want to catch a context, you want a new context for each, not even for each method, or for one of the test method, we can tell Spring to close and destroy the test context or the application context. So when you might have realized that I use application context and test context interchangeably in the text. When I say application context, I mean a test context. All right. So if we can tell Spring to close and destroy the application context and create a new one. So we use ApplicationContext. You can use this ApplicationContext at method level or at class level. So the test annotation, which indicates that the application context associated with a test is dirty and should be closed and removed from the context cache. So this is the definition of ApplicationContext, or what it actually does. So as you can see on the left, on the right here, we have the attributes of this annotation. We have method mode, and we have class mode, and we have hierarchy mode. So we saw that by default we choose after method mode as after method, and then class mode as after class, and then hierarchy mode as exhaustive. All right. So let's see these attributes. They are all enums. So let's look at the method mode. It says it defines modes which determine how this context is interpreted when used to annotate a test method. All right. So let's see the before method. It says the associated application context will be marked as dirty before the corresponding test method is executed, which means before executing that method, we need a new context. All right. Then we see that the after method says the associated application context would be marked as dirty after the corresponding test method, which means after that test method completes, the application context is dirty. Spring will then close it and create the new one. All right. Now let's look at the class mode. It says defines methods which determine how this context is interpreted when used to annotate a test class. All right, let's look at its attribute before class. It says the associated application context will be marked as dirty before the test class. All right, then we have before each test method, which means the associated application context would be marked as dirty before each test method in the class. After each test method, which means after each test method, it will be marked as dirty. Then we have after class, the associated application context would be marked as dirty after the test class. All right, then we have the hierarchy mode. This one, they say defines modes which determine how the context cache is cleared when a dirty context is used in a test whose context is configured as part of the hierarchy via context hierarchy. right? We saw that it's exhaustive by default, which means the context cache will be cleared using an exhaustive algorithm that includes not only the current level, but also other context hierarchies that share an ancestor context common to the current test. Then the current level says the application context for the current level in the context hierarchy, and all the contexts in the sub-hierarchies of the current level will be removed from the context cache and closed. So as we can see here, we are saying add context, add is context on top of a class, and then we say the class node is before the class, right? Which means some tests that require a new Spring container. All right, so this is how you actually can use this add is context. As you can see, you can configure it in many ways you would want. So the way that suits your business need, that's how you will actually configure it. So guys, thank you very much for watching this video. Please don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next lecture.